Hello everybody! It's been a while since I posted. Just been keeping busy with a lot of art. I want to show you what my piece is right here.
Well. Just say something like, play This American Life.
Check it out! Avocados! Isn't it great? So I'm doing like a series on vegetables and fruit for the kitchen. See if anyone wants to buy, you know, different paintings and avocado. I have a pear and I'm gonna do a pomegranate tomorrow. It's just kind of fun. A lot of color. So it adds color to your kitchen. It's kind of sweet. Anyway, I want to jump on here and just say, you know, I'm doing really well. And I've been working on sadness lately. A lot of sadness coming up for me. And I think a lot of people are going through that with the magnetism of the earth is really low, and that causes us to be kind of out of whack, off kilter. And so that's why we're having such chaos around. But it really comes down to your old childhood wounds, I believe. And really getting in touch with perhaps messages that came from loved ones that you looked up to growing up that said you weren't worthy or good enough. And even if you have the most wonderful family, and my parents, you know, they were flawed, every human is, but some of the messages that came to me, it's taken me a while to do these videos, by the way, because my message is from a few people in my family. I'm not going to say who because it's not important, but that I should keep my mouth shut. That I should only say what is kind, which is a really good rule of thumb. I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all, but what it is, it just kind of shut me down. Like I didn't know how to work with my anger, processing. That was very hard because there's shame involved with being angry. And so I kind of lost my voice, and just I have a desire to help people because of, you know, what I've been through, to help guide people maybe up out of their sadness, because I have so much. And I am working on it, right? We're all a work in progress. None of us have this down. That's really important to understand. And never, ever give yourself a hard time like, I should be better. I shouldn't have these sad moments. I should be more enlightened, or whatever the new age stuff wants to talk about. What's important is finding your joy. What's important is falling in love with your life and loving what you have. Because we're such a consumer society, and I'm just as much to blame. I really am. I have retail therapy problem, big time. But, you know, I keep it in check because I realize that when I get new things and I have a fun new toy, it's like Christmas. And now that I'm an adult, I can buy it for myself whenever I want. Well, I'm broke, so don't get to buy very much for myself. So it makes it extra special when I do. And that's another thing. We have to like pat ourselves on the back and say, I'm my own best friend. And, you know, I'm doing great. You know, even when I'm having my bad days, and I don't get on here on my bad days. I'm just here to say, the only time I ever do videos is when I'm feeling up and out of it, because I don't want to bring anybody else down. But what I want to say to you that's so important is, everybody has down days. Everybody. And what you need to understand is it passes. You see, my son's not here with me. He should be 19 years old tomorrow. 3 years ago, he took his life in my backyard. And it's been a rough week. It's been rough because I miss him all the time. He was my light, my heart. And it's quiet here. I don't have a lot of people calling me or wanting to talk to me, so I'm lonely. And that's why I do these videos, because I want you to know how human I am, and I want you to know that we're all in this together. I truly believe we're all connected. We are. We have a human soul, and our human soul is part of the source, and the source is God, and we're all connected. We're all brothers and sisters. So if something works for me in my time of sadness, I want to share it with everyone else. And I guess I give myself that license because of the incredible trauma I've been through. So, I'm having a harder time than most with the inability to affect my environment the way that I want to on a regular basis. I mean, that's really devastating. It's been 13 years, but I'm here to say that I am a fiercely independent woman that has a really hard time with waiting on help. And I do get it, and I am so grateful for everybody that helps me. I don't ever want to sound like I'm not grateful. But when you lose the ability to do it yourself, that's like a freak out, It's like, I want to do this now, but I can't. And so I have to wait for somebody. And so ever since my sons left, there's those least, there's not as many hands to participate anymore. And there's a deprivation of that family that I used to have. Like, everything's destroyed. And so here I am having to pick up the pieces every day, little by little, and create joy because I'm still here. I'm healthy. I'm intelligent. I'm talented. And I'm kind of excited about the rest of my life because I feel like I'm almost like reaching some kind of zenith where I can leap off from here with the new found information. I've been working a lot with Matt Kahn, Khan. He is on YouTube and he does a lot of really good videos, and I get a lot from him. And when I was talking about our childhood and the messages that we get, that we carry on, the unworthy message, and getting back to giving yourself that dignity of loving yourself so thoroughly that you can transcend the worldly views. Like, people that will come in your life, these characters, right? Because aren't we here to grow? Earth School. This is Earth School. Hello. We're in Classroom Earth every day. And guess what we're playing? How will you respond? That's the game. And if you have integrity and you get on a spiritual path that helps you understand loving yourself and receiving God's love through your top of your head chakra, through your body, and doing meditations that clean out your energy field, letting go of past traumas, forgiving people in your life that have trespassed against you. Once you reach a point where you can forgive the person that has tried to destroy you, that's when you start getting really powerful. That's the magic, the alchemy of spirit, of changing your inner climate. So you start standing on your own 2 feet, setting comfortable boundaries with people. It's very important. I have to have a lot of downtime, a lot of thoughtful time, and a lot of fun distraction. Some of my favorite shows are history shows. And I also love The Crocodile Hunter with all his love of the animals and the earth. It just makes me feel so good. Because sometimes when I'm watching Netflix and I'm watching those cartel movies, it kind of makes me a little depressed, I have to say. Because I think about that energy of wanting that easy money and that selling of your soul and that hurting people and all the death. I mean, so what? You are rich in this lifetime. Don't you realize we're immortal? This is just one lifetime. And maybe they needed to incarnate and have that journey of, I'm going to be the biggest cartel guy ever and you're going to be responsible for all that death. So when you go towards your what do they call it? The astral realm. When you're in the astral realm, when you first pass over, the word on the street is you get a little bit of judgment day, but guess who's judging you? Not God. No, you get to jump into the skins of the people you hurt. You get to feel it firsthand, the trauma or whatever you've done. Whatever you've done in this lifetime, it's given you a whole life review and you feel every bit. Can you imagine the trauma Hitler went through on his afterlife? I mean, if you want to be a bad person, you just know that's coming back to you. I mean, it is, you know. It's like just not, it's icky, right? Don't you feel icky when you're bad? I mean, yeah, it might be thrilling and exciting, you know, you're a cartel member and you're shooting everybody up to keep your drugs on the street because you're a Billy Badass. Now I'm cutting off this dude's head because he disrespected me. I mean, come on, right? What are you doing in this life? You're in Earth school. You think that you can control and dominate? Did you know that every big civilization throughout the history of this planet has fallen? There is 0 intact kingdoms or rule of any culture. Maybe in New Guinea where they have the guys running around with loincloths. They might be still intact for tens of thousands of years. I think that, you know, that's success. But look how advanced we've become in this highly digital world with AI coming in and, you know, all of these improvements on our lives and got more and more government involvement and overseeing and stripping all our rights away. And isn't this fun, guys? I mean, are you seeing what's going on here? I mean, we have incarnated in the one of the craziest times in human history. But I have to say, come on now, props for how far we've come. Let's give props. People say that right now is the worst time in history, and I beg to differ. Have you guys ever studied any medieval cultures where they were throwing poop out their window? Where do you think the umbrella came from? That's crazy to me. You're walking down the street and somebody's throwing their shit out their window and hitting the people below. These people weren't even taking baths. Ever. They were so filthy. I can't even imagine how it stunk. But everybody was used to it. We have come a long way is what I'm trying to say. Seriously. Like, I am a student of history. Now, saying the medieval times is not really going back and giving it any kind of fair understanding, because you guys wouldn't believe how the Aztecs were living. Flushing toilets. They had the most beautiful, clean cities you've ever seen. I mean, South America had it going on. Well, see, when the aliens came and set up the pyramids, and then they had to help the culture set up. So they created, you know, these sacred sites, these huge monoliths. They're everywhere. And it's all about, you know, how low the ocean was or where they, why are there freaking pyramids on the ocean floor? What, did we have such low ocean levels, or did they build them underneath the water? I got questions. I'm just saying. Like, you know, I watch these shows and I understand kind of the timeline, and everybody's got kind of a little different tweak on it, which I find interesting because I like having a little difference of opinion, but pretty much they've figured out that at least 3 major ones, 20 max, maybe there were more, extraterrestrials basically seeded this planet and brought down their technology. We had free energy with all the pyramids around the earth with the alabaster and the gold cones on top. and they had water running under them. And so they were like a big battery. And so they, like Tesla figured out that the Egyptians had numerologies, 369, the magic creation numbers. I mean, all this stuff comes together when you start hearing other people's opinions. I love it. I love staying open to the latest understanding of things, the latest discoveries of things. There's a whole, I'm going to tell you right now, there is a whole lot of ancient technology that's being hidden from us because things work in a very interesting way. Did anybody see my biogeometry signature video? Okay, that is ancient Egyptian knowledge. That kind of information is what they are finally like figuring out, but still very slowly. Who knows what they're doing behind those closed doors? You know they've got some alien technology going up in there. I heard they had a couple saucers from Roswell. The Russians have a few that have fallen. It's like the extraterrestrials either knock each other out of the sky or now we're starting to do it. And it's like, we got to get on the same page because these people are here to help us. I'm here to say, I'm not worried about them at all. Now, they could destroy us at a flick of a... they have lasers that just like wipe us out. We are their brothers and sisters, and they're basically farming our DNA from abducting people, all the different experiments they've done and in the little implants they put in them to keep track of them. And, there's all kinds of like weird stuff that's been going on a long time. And from what I hear, they have actual permission from our government. Our government is so corrupt, you guys. It scares me so much. I'm reading right now this book of this woman who knew all about 9/11 and was warning everybody that it was coming. She knew exactly how they were going to do it and everything. And it did not come out of Iraq, okay? I'm just saying, do some research. Extreme prejudice. Buy it, read it. You will be shocked. It's just one example of history is written by the winners, and sometimes you get a little glimpse behind the curtain, and this is a definite glimpse. The corruption in our government, super bad. Scary. Terrifying, actually. Yeah. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I am pragmatic, and I read and I listen and I look at cycles because the Mayans said everything is in a circle. Nothing is linear. All our ideas about the past being on a timeline they taught you in school, nope. It's all circular. That's how energy comes down to the earth from the sun. That's how this whole thing works. Look at your sacred geometry. How we're all put together in this beautiful matrix of ones and zeros. It is all important though. Don't ever think we're living in this hologram of illusion and that it's not important. We are in Earth School. We've created this mess. And guess who's here to save us? Not Jesus. Nope. Us. We have to save ourselves. Now, we are not here alone. We have ascended masters. We have spirit guides. And we have higher beings. Jesus is one of them, but there are many, a plethora of them. Just know your mythology. Those were stories. Those were actual stories. Do you know how many UFOs are in the Bible? I mean, they're talking astronomy in the Bible. All the things that these Christians go beating each other's heads about. Don't do tarot cards. Don't do astrology. Oh, danger, danger, Will Robinson. Well, I'm here to say, guess what? Pull your little heads out of your little boxes, okay? Life is not that easy. It's very complicated. It's way bigger than Jesus, okay? Way bigger than Christianity. Way bigger than any of the religions. Human beings have been on this planet for millions of years. There were cultures on Mars. There was a planet between Jupiter and, Venus? Oh crap. It's where our asteroid belt is. That was a planet. Yeah, they destroyed themselves. So that's why the UFOs are very interested. Why do you think they started getting sightings and falling out of the sky in the 40s? They were worried we're blowing up the earth. They're like, what are you guys doing? And what do? They park over our silos and suck all the radiation up in their vehicles, trying to keep us from blowing ourselves up. They don't want World War III. They're like, hey, You guys, we altered your genetics thousands of years ago, giving you more compassion because you need to get into your heart, stay in your heart, love yourselves and love each other like Jesus said, like a brother. Why isn't this happening? Because these are the things we have to go through. We have to go through the pain. We have to lose our brothers and sisters on the streets with guns. We have to lose our brothers and sisters to fentanyl poisoning in our drugs. We have to lose our brothers and sisters to a man-made, government-made COVID vaccination or pandemic, excuse me. They created it and they made the only channels for any retribution be the vaccine companies. Isn't that interesting? Who do you think runs the government? Just look at Big Pharma. They created a pandemic and then a cure that's killing people right, left, and center. Oh, people are just dropping dead from a heart attack at 20. Oh, no big deal. It's like the norm now. What? Ever since the freaking vaccines and no one's putting two and two together. Come on. Wake up. Jesus. You know, religion loves people in boxes because they can control them. If you step outside the box, if you start taking a look around and stop limiting yourself by your beliefs, make yourself a little more pliable and flexible and go, you know what? I don't think anybody really has the answer. But you know where I'm going to find some answers? Babylon, Sumeria, Egypt, Dead Sea Scrolls, Hermetics, Enoch, Ezekiel. Not just the Bible. Look at the Torah. Look at the Quran. Look at the Kabbalah. Look at the Vedas in India. Some very interesting information is uncovered that will change your thinking about our purpose on this planet. Exciting stuff I've been learning. And it brings so much peace to my soul. And I find a lot of peace in my nighttime routine where I put on either sound baths. It's a nice frequency that just is very calming. I put on Indian flute music. Sometimes I just feel like I need that spirituality from the Indians. They were so soulful, so deep, so loving, so beautiful, you know. And they still speak, you know. These cultures are still speaking to us. When you listen to their music and you hear these little faint remembrances, these tones, listen to the sitar. Yeah. The drums, the shamanic beating. You know what one of my favorite is? The didgeridoo. I love it. It's just so soothing. So great. Yeah, that's what I listen to every night. It's really important. I haven't really gotten good at it, but Om chanting